right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first live show of Yakshire Outdoors. Today, we're talking about things that we can do off the water to make the next trip on the water easier, faster, and more efficient. I do have Bob from Bobcat Outdoors with me today to help me out with this. This guy is an expert planner, expert planner, expert equipment handler. He does repairs on reels. I mean, this guy is all about this type of stuff, whether he wants to admit it or not. I see him do it all the time. I just thought it'd be a good idea to bring him along for the ride. But for those of you that are new here, my name is Anthony. We're Yakshire Outdoors. We're doing everything we can to help people catch more and bigger fish. We talk about tips, we talk about trips, we talk about tricks, and we go on trips to show everybody these things and see what we can do to make happen. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll get started. So one of the first things you can do when it comes to getting ready for your trips and stuff is to work on your equipment. This can be as simple as respooling a reel, checking lines for nicks, checking leaders for nicks, checking out rusted hooks on lures, sorting tackle, checking your safety gear. If you're wearing a PFD, if you're on a kayak or on your boat, your safety whistle, your dry bag for dry clothes in case you get stranded or flip your kayak, any of that good stuff. And it includes simple things. You can even tie up spare rigs. That's a big thing for big catfish angling is to have spare rigs ready to go. Same for carp angling, same for crappie angling for that matter. If you're doing any kind of high-low rig or any kind of jig setup, you can always have your stuff pre-made and ready to go, especially if you have something like balancing a jig head. Stuff like that. There's little things you can do that will save you a minute or two here, a minute or two there. Well, if you're doing it 6 or 7 times in a trip, then that's 20 minutes of your time, right? So if you do it ahead of time, the next time you're on the water, it's way more efficient. It works out way better for everybody involved. The next thing that you can look at besides working on equipment is doing things such as repair work on your boat or your kayak. This includes doing upgrades, whether it be for upgrading camera equipment, upgrading batteries, upgrading the fish finder, just updating the maps on the fish finder, all kinds of little things. But it also includes stuff like hull repair, equipment maintenance, checking the seat, on your kayaks, make sure there's not any rips or tears, things that'll make things uncomfortable or could result in lost time on the water. Even things that people don't think about, even for that matter. If you have a pedal kayak, you gotta lubricate your pedals on your kayak. You gotta lubricate the chains. You gotta lubricate the actual bearing housings on those that have those. Check the propeller for nicks. Make sure there's not any weeds or sand or grit stuck in the bearings on the bottom or on the hub as well. And then stuff like that. You got to think all your stuff. What is that, Bob? What are you doing on my stream, buddy?
Hmm?
He had some awful feedback on the back for a second there. It's all good. All right. So the biggest thing when it comes to preparing for these trips is doing the little things now to make the next things later. Another thing with the boat and the kayak thing, if you have a trailer, check your hubs. I know this guy, that guy right there, especially, is really, really good about it, but he did miss out on a trip because he was not aware he had to do it. And it can be an all-day process. They may not have the bearings in stock. It can completely ruin a day of fishing. So it's little things like that, guys. All we're worrying about is things that you can do now to not have to do the day of fishing so you can get on the water and fish more. Another thing you can do to make the thing a whole lot easier is pre-trip planning. If you know where you're going to go, if you know what you're going to fish for, if you have the bait and everything made already, you will be on the water faster. Being on the water faster is more bait time. Having bait in the water means more fish. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot catch fish if you do not have bait in the water. So you want to do that as fast as possible. Get out there as soon as possible and be as efficient as possible while you're on the water. And this could be all kinds of things. It can be studying spots to go to. It can be looking at lake maps or Google Earth, looking for structure before you even go out on the trip. This can be doing a trip that's just planned for you going out and driving around the lake, looking for spots and marking on your fish finder. It can be all kinds of things. It can be just talking to the guy next door that just went fishing yesterday and see what he did. He may or may not tell you the truth, but it's something you can rule out or rule in, and it's up to you. But being able to get that information before you go out on the lake is going to make you more efficient because you have less time spent trying to figure out stuff that may or may not work because you already have eliminated some things or you have a list of things that already work. Another thing you can use, TWRA actually has a website where you can look at all the launch boat ramps and launch areas and access areas for the state of Tennessee. Now, I don't know if every state has these. I know Tennessee has it, so I'm under the impression that most states pretty much do this kind of thing. If they don't have it actual on their website, I am sure that you guys can find a forum group for your area and be able to find local spots or little hidden away spots. And again, that's another good thing about Google Earth too. You can find more spots, and you can explore those spots. And by doing that, you get yourself on the water faster, get yourself in a good spot faster, maybe even a spot you've never been before, or a spot where there's nobody else at, no boats, no trucks, no nothing. And it's all to yourself, and you can explore it out and maybe get on some more fish that you didn't know existed. Another thing you can do is look on YouTube, including my channel, shameless plug, right? Yak Shore Outdoors, and look for tips or trips that I've went on recently, be able to give you some ideas. You can use any channel, not just with mine. There's tons of people out there that are sharing out information, tons of people out there that are sharing techniques, tons of people out there that are sharing catches. It is really, really easy to get into, and it's really, really easy to find this type of information to make your trips faster. So that's all I really got for today. Really short and sweet, but it's just something that was on my mind because this past week I have not been able to fish, and so I've been doing things myself to get myself ready for next week when I can hopefully get on the water. And it made me think about, not everybody thinks about this kind of thing, so maybe my going through this could help you guys do the same thing. So